Okay, so I'm on there. This is not, well, oh, it auto split it for me. Cool. And let's see here. Do, 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 do. This is probably not going to be a very long stream. Uh, I know some of my streams go as long as what was my first one ever, which was around Christmas Day or the day after Christmas. Well, it started Christmas evening and it extended until the day after Christmas, as I recall. And it was an 11-hour stream. I try not to do too many of those extremely long ones, especially when it's mostly myself. I'm still trying to figure out a way to edit that video so that I can post it without YouTube striking me for copyright claims. And what do we have here? Yeah, I'm being distracted by my phone. Sorry. Oh, sweet. So the other reason I am going to keep this short, maybe to like hour and a half or so, is my guesstimate, is because White Cat Comics is going to be streaming soon, and they're going to do a video about excuse me, they're going to be doing a video showcasing the campaign from Commie Mark. So I wanted to check that out. Ba-dum, ba-dum, bum, ba-dum, 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 bum. Let me see here. Let me try and create something goofy. Actually, or let's see. How are you handling the pandemic? So, what's your name? What's your number? All right. So, as far as I'm concerned, this whole thing has been blown way out of proportion. Yeah, it's a threat, and yes, it is infecting a lot of people, and yes, it is. Oh, you know what? I forgot to show it. Wah, wah, wah. So how do you differentiate between one that's a ticker and one? Oh, you know what? Shoot. Oh, shoot. Edit. Scroll across. Yeah. Yeah, boy. Oh, show. Ha, there we go. All right. So the thing is, based on all the stuff I've been seeing, it seems like, well, it's hard to pinpoint what's actually happening, but it seems as though you've got a lab that has a lab in Wuhan, China, that is responsible for storing multiple strains of various viruses and whatnot. And I don't know what the purpose is for that, whether it's to have them on hand in case a disease that's been wiped out returns, and they need to whip up some antivirus at a moment's notice, or if, heaven forbid, they're exploring. Let me see if I can get better lighting here. Not really, huh? Oh, man. It's getting close to dusk. It's actually 7:18 p.m. right now. Ah! Whoa! All right. I don't know. Is that too much light now? Well, yeah. So, hopefully it is not in. Hopefully its design and intent of having that lab is not for nefarious reasons, such as to create biological weapons. But it seems like it started there. And I don't yet believe that it's originated from people eating bat soup. Because if they did, DC would probably use that as a marketing opportunity to promote a new version of Batman. And try and jump on the COVID-19 train. Yeah, so I don't think I think that's just a cover up. And then as you might imagine, politicians are trying to take advantage of it. There's an old saying, I'll probably butcher the exact wording, but you may be familiar with this person named Saul Alinsky. I think it's spelled Saul, last name Alinsky. He basically wrote a book on manipulation and using people's fears to take advantage of them and in effect control them. And it's a book of guiding principles that the Democrat National Committee tends to follow, and extremists, and possibly on either side, but I usually hear it referenced in conjunction with extreme leftists. And one of the sayings or phrases is something to the effect, never let an epidemic or disaster go to waste. So if there's any way to profit from or gain more control over the population, the general public, then go ahead and do so. It's basically the idea. I'm totally against that. I think manipulation of any kind is bad, but politicians, that's their game. That's their bag. And I think the mainstream media as a whole is doing a disservice to the general public, not only in America, but worldwide, by handling it improperly. And I think our president is doing the best he can, considering all the circumstances and all the pushback he's getting. I think all in all, he's doing pretty good, in that he was wise to cut off transportation from China to the U.S. when he did, especially considering it starting to look more and more like China and the rest of the China and other parties might have been aware of the situation since as early as uh, fall of last year, and on some accounts as early as maybe February of 2019. So it kind of depends on what sources you're reading. I primarily rely on the internet because mainstream media is garbage. Can't really rely on them these days. You can get like the overall big picture, but when it comes to actual facts and research, you can't rely on mainstream media anymore. So you actually have to take the time and dig around the internet and do your own research, uh, and then come to your own conclusions. What I say, what my views are my own. I'm not going to try and impose my views on you. I'm just saying, hey, keep an open mind. Uh, you know, observe, stay alert, keep on, try and stay up on what's going on in the world, as challenging as it may be, and as depressing as it might be. And yeah. So I just wanted to open up this stream for anyone who wanted to pop in, and also try and get a beat on, what things are, what life is like elsewhere, outside of my little bubble. For me, it's kind of weird. I'm working reduced hours. I'm still presently in a field that's classified as critical, I guess. Well, not critical. That's an overstatement. Essential is what they call, because I'm in a unique retail / food industry, and right now they're considering food to be essential. Well, that came out weird. So what I'm saying is, a lot of restaurants, as you will have by now discovered long ago, at least over the past month, were deemed, the dine-in portion of restaurants were deemed non-essential. So restaurants have been hustling, trying to convert their operations, if they haven't already, into to-go, takeout, carry-out operations. Those who have already had that feature in place have been able to make the transition more easily. And of course, one of the things that once you get to know me, you'll quickly find I love to eat. And I used to go to buffets before this whole COVID-19 / coronavirus / beer virus / China virus. And by the way, you'll notice I am Asian, of Chinese descent. I'm an American. I have no literal ties to China, so I classify myself as an American first and foremost. I do have Chinese ancestry, but I don't have any real ties to China. They never helped raise me. They haven't had any involvement in the shaping of my worldviews. I've always thought it would be cool to one day visit China, but outside of that, I'm an American through and through. So I support my country and those who live in it. And but I love food. No denying that. I am big into buffets still, even though my metabolism is slowing, as is the case when you get older. No longer can I easily burn off everything I eat. And yes, when it comes to buffets, I do everything from Chinese buffets to just general Asian buffets that are like a mix, a merging of, or a combination of like American Chinese food and um, sushi. And some places have not only Asian types of foods in their buffet, but like American home style cuisine, if you can call it that. Like what baked fish, baked tilapia, corn on the cob, meatloaf, um, grilled vegetables, steaks, um, seafoods, steamed fish, macaroni and cheese, that kind of stuff. Uh, so, I love that kind of stuff too. Food that you can get at like Hometown Buffet. There's a bunch of, well, there aren't a whole lot of Chinese restaurants in my area, but the few that I have been to are pretty good. And it is what most would classify as Americanized Asian food. You'll realize quickly that if you had legit Chinese food, legit Japanese food, it's going to be quite different from what you might have seen. But I also like, I don't know if it's classified as a guilty pleasure, but I also like things like, is it Cece's Pizza? Because again, load up on either um, pizza or salad. Their salad bar isn't very, it doesn't have a very big selection though. Chuck E. Cheese's, believe it or not, has a salad bar too, an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But you start off with a very tiny plate or tray, and you have to make multiple visits. Ruby Tuesdays is really good for their salad. Frisch's Big Boy, which I guess is formerly Bob's Big Boy, is actually has a pretty good bar. Formerly Bob's Big Boy? Oops. Didn't mean to. Where am I? I'm just saying if my stream was taken down, false flagged by YouTube, as a couple of my previous streams were. Excuse me. If anybody's in there, feel free to chime in. Let's see here. Let's jump back to beep, 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 beep. Come on in and chat. There's me. Here's Wyatt. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah. So, bottom line, I love food. So I'm missing the buffets, but oddly enough, I'm not missing them as much as I thought I would. And I think it's because I ultimately did stock up my fridge. I've got a fridge and a freezer, one of those where the top is the freezer and the bottom is the fridge. And I haven't had that big a problem getting what I needed from places like Costco. By the way, I do love Costco. I always figure one day if I ever become a millionaire, which I'm hoping to, because I want to eventually release comics and video games based on my IPs. When I become a millionaire, which I intend to, I intend, early on, after I paid all bills, of course, I intend to do a Costco shopping spree. So yeah, that's on my list. That'll probably be the last thing anyone would ever consider or think about. But I'm kind of goofy that way. And another fun fact is my dream car, believe it or not, is not a race car, not a sports car, but a station wagon. When I was growing up, I was big into gaming. And I hope to start doing some gaming streams, by the way. I've got Twitch, and I recently created a DLive account. I don't know how I'm going to do this, but I'm thinking I might try and do it via StreamYards if I can figure out how this all works and how I can connect this to Twitch, for example, to start. Since I've got 2 monitors going. Oh, you know what? I guess I would just do it through this. Would I? I don't really know. I might end up having to buy the full version of StreamYard if I can't figure it out, because it seems like most of the cool features that you would use or that you would need for a proper stream are in the paid version of StreamYard. And I'm on the free version right now. Yeah, so in my early years, I was big into gaming, and I actually went to a couple LAN parties, is what they called them. LAN, short for spelled LAN, short for local area network. It's where you went to events, either as small as going to a friend's house to going to an actual formal event. Like the ones I went to were sponsored by the big video graphics card companies like NVIDIA and ATI. And what you do is you literally bring your own computer, your own rig, complete with your full rig, meaning your computer, which is usually a desktop tower because they're more powerful than laptops in most cases. A monitor, keyboard, mouse, joystick, if applicable, all the cords, all the wires, all your gear, and any tools you might need in case something goes funky or downhill and you need to do a quick repair. And of course, like beverages, like real popular in technology, IT, and gaming is sodas and energy drinks like Mountain Dew, Monster, that kind of stuff. So LAN parties were cool, but the whole reason I even started talking about LAN parties is because I always had in the back of my mind, I was thinking of transportation of all that gear. And if you wanted to have room for your best buddies and all your gear, you might expect, well, you need storage. So one of my other dream vehicles is a minivan. I actually enjoy driving minivans. So I don't care if you refer to it as a soccer mom van uh, or what have you, old folks van, but I love vehicles that have lots of storage. So I'm down with a van or a station wagon. Before they came out with Geek Squad from Best Buy, where they have computer techs who travel to people's homes to, service equipment. I thought of doing that type of business, and then I just slap my signage on using, a magnet signage, so that I could pull it off when I was using my vehicle for personal reasons, and just have use a station wagon. And they have so much space. You could pile in several of your buddies if you want to go to a LAN party and load up all your gear in the back. But if I were to do it as part of my IT profession, freelance consulting, computer tech support, I would do it. I would. Oh my gosh! Commie Mark, subscribe to me! Yay! Thanks so much, Commie Mark. Yeah. So. Yeah, so that's one of the things I consider if I were actively doing the IT consulting job, slapping on some magnetic signage. All right, so moving on up to the skyline, to a deluxe apartment in the sky. Whoa, 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 moving on up to the skyline. We finally got a piece of the pie. So, like I said, I don't mind calling this whole thing Chinese flu. I also heard the phrase Kung Flu fighting. This, I laugh at this kind of stuff. This is great. This is entertainment for me. I do think it originated in China. There's also talk that the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, Bill Gates was one of the co-founders of Microsoft, the company who makes the operating systems most people use to this day. He and his dad follow, from what I've read, the same idea that population control is necessary, and they fully support and fund numerous initiatives to research and develop GMOs, those growth hormones, and gene splicing technology for foods, and coming up with crops and stuff that are more resistant to spoilage and insect damage. But the more and more you fiddle with, God's creations of, natural seeds, the more you fiddle with nature itself, the more trouble you're asking for, because you're effectively destroying things at a cellular level and then recombining it with other cells. that don't belong with each other. And the more you do that, the more you introduce, I mean, it may have some benefits to it, like resistance to droughts and things like that. But at the same time, when the human body consumes it, it's no longer used to it. The GMO and the genetically modified and spliced foods are recognized by your body as intruding bodies. So, invaders, something it doesn't recognize. So it will tend to attack that or address it any way it knows how. And that's why I think so many people live an unhealthy lifestyle, because they consume so much of the processed foods, gene spliced foods. Someone shared with me, well, there's a couple cool points. Well, I don't know if they're cool, but they're interesting. Real fascinating stuff. The first is, look at the map of any grocery store. And what you'll observe is, if you go and shop around the perimeter of the store, any given store, you're usually going to come across groceries like fresh baked bread, vegetables, organic and non-organic, meats, butchered meats, and that kind of stuff. But then you focus in on all the stuff that's on the shelves, and it's going to be full of processed foods, cookies, crackers, candies, canned meats, canned vegetables, heavily processed foods that, are literally manufactured and not necessarily grown or combined in a cooking fashion. Excuse me. So that's the first thing. Yeah, next time you go to a grocery store, check that out, and it'll be like mind-blowing. The second is, to follow up on that point, generally speaking, if you want to try and eat as healthy as possible in today's grocery stores, try and shop around the perimeter of the store. The other interesting and fascinating point is the part about corn. Supposedly, corn is not something that was designed or intended to be consumed by humans, which is interesting. I grew up eating corn. I love corn on the cob. I love kernel corn. I love sweet corn. I love corn meal, corn tortillas, and a lot of Mexican foods that use corn. Corn itself, as I understand, and based on stuff I've read and researched on, is supposedly bad for you because your body is not built to break down corn, especially whole corn kernels. And what they're saying is, in order to you can, in the time it takes to digest corn, like a corn on the cob, you can digest an entire steak in that same amount of time. So that kind of tells you something. which is kind of bizarre, kind of scary. And that's why they say, when you do number 2, that's why you sometimes see whole kernels undigested for that reason, because it takes so excruciatingly long to break down corn in the human body. So I don't entirely exclude corn from my diet, but I've significantly reduced it based on that knowledge. And I'm not going to judge. If you want to continue eating corn, go for it. Definitely choose whatever diet works for you. I'm just trying to make certain changes in my life to hopefully to the benefit for a longer life. Oh, yeah. So talking about this whole COVID thing, and yeah, I don't mind calling it the Chinese virus, because I do believe, based on all my research, that it did originate from China. And it seems like, based on what I'm reading, that the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, touching back to what I was talking about earlier, was responsible in doing a lot of the funding of that Wuhan facility, researching viruses. And what I'm not clear on is whether it truly was intentionally released on the world, or if it accidentally got released, or what the ultimate reason for its spread was. So some of you may know that I'm in Ohio. We have kind of a self-containment thing going on. I'm classified in what they call a quote essential quote industry, but my hours have been severely reduced. So I am spending more time at home while also looking for another job, which I should have secured while, before the whole COVID-19 coronavirus thing kicked into full gear. So I am to blame for that, for not pushing harder and working harder to find and secure a second job. So the blame's all on me. I am continuing to look for and secure work. Had some interviews, waiting on some feedback for more interviews. Excuse me. Oh, and real quick, let me show you this cool shirt. I'm a big fan of Star Wars, and when it comes to Christmas, I'm real big on Christmas, and I love gift giving. I love gift wrapping, gift ribboning, all that stuff, the whole event. I even love to still do stockings to this day. But basically, whenever people shop for me, they know they can't go wrong if they get me something Star Wars related. So let's see here. Where was I going with that? Wah, wah, wah. Wah, 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 wah. Oh, shoot. Before I go any further, let me... Boop, 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 boop. Ba-dum, ba-dum, bum, bum, bum. Dun, 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 dun. Let me hop over to the Twitterverse real quick. Oh man, that Star Wars girl is streaming too right now. Shoot! Oh man, I like her content. Let's see here. What's going on here? There are some cool Twitter accounts I just love. They're so funny. Great entertainment. Great entertainment. Oh my gosh. uh, what is this? Oh my gosh. Will Theroics to Willa will it will at Heroic Studios. Okay. You can't stop me. I'm a Jedi from Jakku. No! It's an earworm. It's stuck in my head. You can't stop me. I'm a Jedi from Jakku. Man, I gotta catch up on this. Shoot. I didn't realize I was so far behind. On my Twitters. Let me see. Is anybody even on my channel? Nope. Doop 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 doop. Doop it doop doop boop doop doop. Huh. Man, there's so many creative people in the world. Oh my gosh. I'm almost done. Sorry. Actually, you know what? Let me just set this aside. Set it aside. Man, it's already 7:57 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is ridiculous. Time flies when you're having fun. What you want? Boom, 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 boom. Man, I keep going to the same songs over and over and over. I got to add more to my repertoire. Oh, you know what? That's not really. Let's see. That one. Yeah, I guess we do that one. Leave it with that one. You know what's weird about this whole self-containment thing? All right, so I'm stocked up on food and stuff, but my sleeping schedule is way out of whack. I'm so used to going to a regular job, kind of a 9 to 5 kind of job, but just fluctuating because in the customer service and sales and retail industry, your schedule usually changes weekly. But at least you had some kind of semblance as to when you were expected to come in for work. I guess it's a lack of discipline, but things kind of like blew way out of whack when this whole reduced hours thing kicked in, and when the governor started doing cutbacks or pushing for self-containment and whatnot. And now it's like I'm finding I'm spending more time cooking, but I'm cooking big batches of food at once, even though there's only me here. And then I take that food and I scarf it down like a big old piggy. And I eat so much and I drink so much hot tea or hot coffee that, I wouldn't say I really get bloated, but I get so full that my body wants to shut down and take a nap. So that seems to be what I'm doing. And so my sleep schedule is all out of whack. I stay up way too late, get up relatively late. So like I'll stay up, for example, until 2:33 a.m. many days, and not get up until around 10 or 11 a.m. So it's just kind of goofy. I'm gonna rein in on my habits and take control of this and use my time more effectively. The other thing I noticed is I'm spending loads of time, even more than usual, I think, on social media. So I'm using Instagram more, even Snapchat more than usual, Twitter heavily, YouTube heavily. I still try and squeeze in my games. Like I said, I used to be a gamer, but now I spend more time on mobile games. There's, let me see. Hold on. I don't remember all the names off the top of my head, but funny enough, the ones I'm playing the most of are Pop Slots, My Vegas, and both of those games are made by the same company. Basically, it's one of those games that you can play online, and it's online gambling, but I do the free portion. I never buy chips or anything. But it's basically playing nothing but slot machines. Excuse me. But the time you invest winning and playing the game gets converted into tokens that you can use to redeem real life rewards at Las Vegas when you go to visit in person. So you can redeem those coins, those tokens, for things like a free buffet dinner at this casino, or a free meal at this restaurant, or a ticket to a free performance at this event, and things like that. And I enjoy going to Vegas. I've been maybe, I think, a total of 3 times in my life, and it's a lot of fun. I usually, believe it or not, I usually go mostly for um, uh, the entertainment, the performances, shows, uh, and for buffets. Surprise, surprise, surprise. Yeah, food and entertainment. And, I go for the gambling to some extent because, I love getting free drinks. Well, I guess you can classify that as another falling into the beverage category. But you can get not only alcoholic beverages, which, I would get sometimes, but you can also get virgin beverages. So you can get Shirley Temples, you can get pina coladas, strawberry daiquiris, that kind of stuff. And I love blended drinks. So that stuff is cool. Cool Modi. And then what? Um, and then I'd spend most of my time on the penny and nickel machines, the penny and nickel slot machines. And from time to time, I would jump over to the quarter machines. And then on the very last day of my trip, I would carry on a tradition that my stepdad started, where on the very last day you put you find a bank of machines that you like, that are like dollar machines, and then you put the coins in all the machines down the whole bank, and then you pull the lever on all those in a row, and then whatever you end up winning, if you win anything, you take home as the winnings. And it's just a fun, entertaining way of finishing off your trip. Yeah. So we can always discuss gambling at another point in time. But going back to the games I played, the other one I spend a lot of time on is what is the actual name of it? It's shoot. Oh, Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes from Electronic Arts, EA. So yeah. So that's another one I play. And as of late, those have been the 3 games I've been playing the most of. Well, let's see. I keep going on these big old long tangents. Sorry about that. Let me see something here. All right. Oh my gosh. Oh, jeez. John Mayland's also going to be streaming soon. Crap. There are so many stream YouTube content creators and streamers I enjoy watching. Seems like we're all streaming around the same time. Yeah. For those of you who don't know, I had the opportunity to do a stream to help promote White Cat Comics, their book, The Grim Reaper 2. That was a blast. I had a lot of fun. And I'm hoping to do a lot more like Comicsgate showcases. Um, I reached out today via Twitter, telling a bunch of people who I admire that I'd love to have them on. Although the way I did it was, I guess, kind of a convoluted tweet. I did a mass tweet with a bunch of names in the first tweet, but it was a 3-tiered tweet, and the bulk of my message was in the last 2 tweets. So tweet 2 had I specifically indicated 2 of 3, and the third tweet said 3 of 3, because I intended to make it clear that there were 3 parts to the tweet. But then I accidentally sent the tweet as is, and I completely forgot to put 1 of 3 in the first tweet. So I mean, it looks more like a shout out rather than an invite to come on my stream to promote their books. So I don't know, maybe I'll kind of redo it and make a modification, but it was kind of funny. But also a bummer because I spent a bunch of time trying to get the wording right and also try and fit in what I was wanting to say in no more than 3 tweets total. Anyway, let's see. Yeah, so I got a crazy sleep schedule. I got to keep up the personal hygiene and all. It helps if you kind of maintain your, to keep yourself sane during this time. It does help to kind of continue your, I don't want to say do everything by rote, meaning do everything as you always have over and over and over again, day after day after day. But what I'm meaning more so is, continue your good habits of getting up. If you eat breakfast, having a lunch, having a dinner, spending time with your family, practicing good hygiene, self-quarantining yourself as necessary and as directed and as instructed. Don't go out unless you absolutely have to like restock on supplies and whatnot. I'm pretty fortunate in that I haven't really had any issues finding supplies. And as I touched on earlier, I love Costco, and I've been able to find everything I needed from there. The only thing I went elsewhere for was from Walmart when I wanted to get a thermometer, a digital thermometer, because I haven't owned a thermometer in many years. So since I'm single and on my own, I figured it probably wouldn't hurt to get a thermometer. And also, earlier in the year, I had the common cold. And, early on when you're feeling blah, uh, there's a certain part of you, or at least it happens for me, where I kind of am concerned, how long is it going to take for me to get over this thing? Am I going to be able to knock it out with, home remedies, or am I going to have to resort to paying out the yin yang for prescription meds? Or can I beat it by drinking loads and loads and loads of water? But it was before the COVID flu thing came into being, and wanted to get rid of that ticker tape banner. So just to be on the safe side, well, actually, I guess it was near the beginning. Just to count out flu as a possibility, I got myself a thermometer from Walmart and checked, and I never developed a fever. So cool beans till you heat them up. Let's see. Other than that, I'm using this time, like some people use the time to do more streaming. Some do it to use the time to make more videos. I'm hoping to do more of both. Some use it and double down and do things like TikTok. I have an account on TikTok, but I'm kind of afraid to use it because I'm kind of concerned that I'll get sucked into that whole life and participate in all those challenges, like what they have on Instagram. Oh my gosh. Oh boy. Excuse me. So there's, it looks like there's a couple cool streams coming up starting shortly. Yeah, there's some good stuff going on. There's John Malin's stream. They're promoting what the frick? Oh my gosh. Some goofball is on Twitter. Well, there's a video that was uploaded to Twitter where some goofball is ordering a to-go beverage and just took all this time to spray it with what, a disinfectant or something? And then they go and take the cup off what looks like a cup of coffee. And geez, there's so much overspray. And then they, criminate. Way too much overspray. And then he takes off the lid, the plastic lid, and then he litters. Actually, it looks like the lid might have bounced inside the fast food joint, but still, that's just wrong. That's crazy. Some people. But anyway, there I go getting sidetracked again. So John Malin's got his stream. He's pushing what campaign is he pushing? He's pushing Raging Golden Eagles book. Oh shoot, that reminds me. Shoot. Is there still? Uh-oh. Did I back it yet? Huh. Let me check something real quick. Oh my gosh. Doomcock is on too? Holy free holies! I think what I'm going to do, I love all these guys, but I think I'm going to sit in on White Cat Comics because they're a small channel still. And I want to give them some support. Doomcock is well renowned, well respected, and hell of a guy. And it's amazing what he has to put up with from the center of the earth. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, so wait, it's still going to be 2 hours? Wait a minute, I thought I set a reminder. Oh, I guess yeah, reminder set. All right, so it's going to start in 9 minutes. Oh, okay, so I got to wrap my thing up soon. Less than 9 minutes to go. Let me advertise that. Go, Comicsgate. Okay. Beep, 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 beep. Man, nada. Still nobody on my stream. Oh well. Say la vie, that's just the way it goes. That's right. Say la vie, that's just the way it goes. That's right. So hopefully after this stream is uploaded, excuse me, and saved to the YouTubes, hopefully people still check this out. Definitely, I encourage everyone to like, comment, and subscribe to this channel. And Be sure and mark the bell icon, which is for notifications. Be sure and select all notifications so you know when I release new videos. I'm going to make some more videos definitely tomorrow. Hopefully I throw some together tonight as well. But I do want to hop on these other creator streams so that I can give them my support. And yeah, Yepperoonie. Might have put a say, huh? Let me see. Here's a goofy thing. All right, good. I was just checking to make sure that nobody tried to send me any private chats. I guess it would probably give me like a little badge icon if anybody did. Let's reduce the lighting to enhance the mood. Welcome to the armpit stream. Na, 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 na. Na, 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 na. Na, 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 na. Na, 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 na. All right, 1:11:34 is the length of this video. All right, so like, comment, and subscribe, and mark the bell for notifications. Thanks for joining me after the fact, and I hope to see some of you live next time. Bye-bye.